I have plenty of time before E3 to give my predictions. Oh wait, no I don't. Oh, I guess I gotta make those now, don't I? Now, E3 is right around the corner, like, it's a week from now. And if you don't know what E3 is, it's this huge game expo where every game company goes to reveal their games, products, and everything. We saw the Wii U at E3 first, we saw the Xbox One and the PS4. All of that stuff gets revealed at E3, and they show off everything that they've got to offer. And this year Nintendo's doing a Nintendo Direct at the E3, which is similar to what they did last year, and it went over rather well last year. In fact, it was actually one of the most interesting shows last year. Now, Nintendo has already announced that they are going to only be showing games coming out this year and in the beginning of next year, probably before they do their mid-year direct, or early year direct, which they do, of course, in like April. But so they're going to be talking about their games, and I'm going to predict my 5 predictions. And how this list is going to work is they are not predictions that I'm pulling out of my ass. They're not like, oh, there's no evidence of this whatsoever, but I believe it's going to happen. No, this isn't wishful thinking. There is evidence for every single thing I am talking about. Also, the list is going to be ascending. 5 being the least likely, 1 being the most likely. And I'm also not going to include anything that's completely confirmed. So, let's start with number 5. So, what has Retro been working on? Now, people have been speculating a lot on this. In fact, I'm in the same boat of thinking that they're working on a new Metroid Prime. Now, why do I think that they're working on a new Metroid Prime? Well, for one, Metroid hasn't really had a good game in a while. It's a great series that has had very little representation. And interestingly enough, Retro's the only team I would trust to work on Prime. Now, here's kind of the funny thing. Metroid actually has been teased a little bit. In fact, in Retro's most recent game, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, you can find Samus's ship sitting amongst the ruins of aircrafts, which is kind of interesting. Somehow Samus flew over the Bermuda Triangle of Donkey Kong. Now, there are also a little bit of other bits and pieces of evidence, including the fact that Samus herself has shown up in lots of promotional art for Nintendo games and consoles. In fact, she's shown up on the eShop a number of times, even though she doesn't have a new game out. Number 4. Now, this one, people are going to claim that I am pulling out of my ass, but I'm not. Mario Sunshine HD. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, what? Where would this have come from? Well, first off, much like the little bits and references to Metroid, there have actually been references to Sunshine all over the place in Mario Kart. There are actually 2 maps where you can see Dolphinians and those little shell creatures, I don't remember their name, that are also only found on Isle Dolphino, a place that is rather specific, and, oddly enough, only in one Mario game. You never return to Dolphino in any of the other Mario games. On top of that, after playing Splatoon, you see that there's actually a usable control scheme for Flood. The Splatoon controls could literally be pasted right onto Mario, and bam, it would work. Now, why this hasn't happened in the past was because we didn't have the analog triggers. Instead, we had digital triggers on the Wii U, so it wasn't actually possible to emulate the game. Now, it's not only got a possible control scheme, but has been hinted at, it also would not break that rule. In fact, we are supposedly not getting a new Mario game this year. That doesn't exclude a remake, though. In fact, being the 30th anniversary of Mario, you would think they'd pull out something interesting. Number 3 on this list is pretty interesting, and I'm actually kind of impressed that I came up with it. Now, Splatoon has actually made it quite apparent that you can't really use a Pro Controller to play every Wii U game. There are gyroscope controls that are only capable of being used on the Wii U gamepad. Now, aside from the touchscreen, that is one of the gamepad's biggest features. there was a really weird way to fuse a Wii Remote to a Pro Controller to equal a somehow hybrid controller that will allow you to use those motion controls in Battle Dojo. But that again seems like a very unusual solution for a rather specific problem. And so I'm predicting the new Wii U Pro Controller. See how I included their new branding? Yeah. This thing will contain a gyroscope sensor and an NFC chip so that they could actually have a controller that works almost like a gamepad without having that touchscreen screen. Touchscreen. Yeah. Without that. So essentially they could have a controller that they can market as essentially a gamepad temporary replacement, as, you know, you still need a touchscreen for some games. This could open the door for the Nintendo to drop the gamepad off of Wii U consoles to lower the price and sell it as peripheral later, or even open the door to the possibility of having future games utilize more Pro Controller use to make the Pro Controller a little bit more prominent. Number 2 on this list, people are going to be saying, impossible! And you know what? They have a right to, because we haven't seen this game franchise in a long time. And I'm calling FZero. Now, again, people are going to say, this is out of your ass. There's no way we got FZero info. And you are not very correct, actually. You see, there have been two FZero tracks in Mario Kart. And as you can wear Captain Falcon's outfit in Mario Kart, you can ride the Blue Falcon in Mario Kart. In Smash Bros, there are 2 FZero maps, all of the trophies for 2 FZero games, and an odd description, including the information that FZero machines can travel at the speed of sound. Why is this odd? Well, I actually calculated the max speed of the FZero machines at their fastest, and it's not the speed of sound. In fact, it's under the speed of sound, well under. In fact, this could be possibly a new mechanic that will be included in the next FZero. As you know, information like this is kind of shared in Smash Bros. Now, there is also more evidence on top of this by the fact that the thing that people are calling the rejection of FZero is actually in a way kind of revealing that it exists. Now, it is said that if they could find a possible control scheme for the new FZero, they would make the game. Now, people thought, okay, this means that there's no FZero. Think about this. If they are working on control schemes, I think they're a little bit further than just thinking about it. And you know what? There's one really big thing to tie this together, is the fact that Star Fox and FZero were the Super Nintendo advertisement pieces. In fact, Captain Falcon was supposed to be the Super Nintendo advertising piece. In fact, Mario was supposed to go, Captain Falcon was supposed to be the new Mario. And so it's amazing if these 2 games come out in the same year. In fact, having them together is just amazing because they're like part of the same universe. Well, not really same universe. It's like a multiverse of each other, but they make references to each other all the time, and it'd be awesome to have both games in one year. So I'm going to have you guys try to guess what my number 1 is going to be. Now, this game is all but confirmed. And we are getting a spin-off game this year. And it involves you spending hours and hours and hours of your life in a digital space. It involves you building a town and watering flowers. It's also been in Mario Kart. And it's got a tanuki called Tom Nook in it. Now, if you didn't get it by now, you probably have never played Animal Crossing. But I am calling it Animal Crossing Wii U. Now, the interview with the Splatoon director, or one of the guys who worked on it, I'm a little fuzzy on the information there, has actually said that it's possible that there's a Animal Crossing game in the works. He can't confirm it, but he didn't deny it. And he referenced Happy Home Designer, which is Animal Crossing House Arrest. And it's possible that Happy Home Designer is actually going to tie to the Wii U version as a way of marketing it. Now, Animal Crossing has been extremely successful in the past, and it has, in fact, sold extremely well on the 3DS, and every installment has gotten bigger and bigger. Now, they actually have less work to do on this than you would think, as they've already put all of the villagers into HD in this special Wii U menu thing that was active for about a year. They just took it out, and I thought then would be the time that they would actually release Animal Crossing. Again, Animal Crossing has shown up in Mario Kart, strangely, because, you know, it's rather strange. And seeing Animal Crossing in HD looks great. The villager has also been completely sold out as an amiibo, and was added to Smash Bros. So there's tons and tons of possibilities that they are cross-marketing Animal Crossing right now for that big reveal. And what's amazing about this is if we get a new Animal Crossing, you won't see me for a couple of years, most likely. I disappeared for like a year into Animal Crossing. I have a problem. So, let's recap. Number 5, Metroid. Number 4, Mario Sunshine HD. Number 3, the new Wii U Pro Controller. Number 2, FZero. And number 1, Animal Crossing Wii U. Those are my 5 predictions. You can tell me about your predictions down in the comments section. You can give a thumbs up, and you know what the real fun is going to be? Coming back to this video after E3 to see how much of it was correct. If all 5 of these things are correct, I will be spending money. A lot of money this year. So I thank you guys for watching. Give a thumbs up, and you can click these videos on the side. These are videos that I have done in the past of certain things. This one right up here is a food for thought about the Nintendo NX. I am actually working on another video about the NX called Designing the NX. I'm still working on it. There's a little bit more to do there. Or you can click right here to see one of my animations. They're kind of adorable little things, and again, I am working on more of those as well. I will be covering E3 in full and doing sort of a new project with it. So if you subscribe, you'll actually see possibly the first ever animated reaction video. That's right, I'm going to record my reactions and then animate my reactions and kind of put them a little over the top because, you know, it's animated. So I thank you guys again. Wolfy out.